What are we working on here? What year is this?
2010 Jetta Wolfsburg edition 2.0 turbo TSI.
All right, ladies and gents.
TFSI. Is that a TSI?
Yeah. So 2010 Volkswagen Jetta with a 2-liter turbo. The customer complaint is it's smoking very bad. It has a flashing check engine light. It runs rough. So let us take you to. You know what? But hey, before we go to the scan tool, let's let's start this thing up so you can see what's going on. You can already see it pouring out of the bottom. So you can see the smoke literally dripping.
You hear that extended crank time too?
Yeah. Hey, look, it's PSK Mike.
Hey.
All right, so it smokes bad, it runs rough. Let us take you to the scan tool and see what kind of faults we got.
Engine management under expert mode.
I'm pretty sure expert mode's like the same thing as VCDS or VADCOM.
In a sense.
It doesn't have the database. You know, like if you go on VCDS and you're like, I don't know what this means, and you just kind of hang your mouse over it and then it pops up with a bubble that says, hey, this is what it means. This doesn't have that.
Well, our pre-existing code was the intake manifold position sensor, but we caused the N276 fault by unplugging it to see if it had any changes. So we can ignore those. What we will go after is the random and cylinder 1 misfire. And then I'm assuming, Tommy, that that's just going to be an effect of the vehicle trying to save itself by disabling the cylinder.
Yeah.
Is it cutting fuel or spark here?
It's cutting the injector.
Cutting the injector.
I've never seen a car that shuts spark off. I'm sure there are some, but I've never seen.
For safety reasons, it makes sense to not wash out a cylinder.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's what we have to work with.
Our concern here is if we continue to run this vehicle, possibly damaging the cat, it's definitely dumping fuel. You can smell it. Obviously, we can see it. So we're going to try not to run the vehicle that long. But the first thing I think we should do is maybe look at some misfire counters and fuel pressure. We did have an extended crank. That was another concern, the extended crank. All right, so go to read measure values. And then on mine, you have to hit the plus first. So take it to channel 1. And now you can click on it and type in. Misfires are 15 and 16. So 15 would be, so your cylinder 1, 2, and 3. And then channel 16 would be your cylinder 4. I don't know why they have it set up like that. So we can start the car up real quick.
Should go back to 15 because it's cylinder 1 is
15.
the issue.
Yeah, so we have the 301. We'll do the 15. And we'll watch the counts on cylinder 1 while Mike cranks his car over through the extended crank. All right, so definitely misfires on cylinder 1. We got some on 2, but that might be from the extended crank. Cylinder 4 looks okay. So definitely a cylinder 1 misfire. The extended crank, what I want to do is go to, I think it's 106. And this is our rail pressure. 20 bar right now at idle. Spec is 40. You can see the desired is right there. It should be 40. So definitely low rail pressure here. All right, we can kill it.
Desired 40. We were seeing 26 bar.
20.
20
yeah.
bar. Which in PSI for everybody at home is 14 bar per PSI.
Yeah, so one bar is 14 PSI. So what's 14 times 20? I don't know.
Don't judge us. We're techs.
Not good at math. I'll never claim to be good at math. All right, so sitting right here, key on, engine off, our rail pressure is 1.36 bar. When you turn the key on and off, you should be able to prime the system and it should hold pressure.
Let's,
Mike, if you do the
if we
honors.
cycle, we're gonna lose it.
Huh?
If we cycle, we're gonna lose it.
Exactly.
But we should see it priming it. Is it
Right.
gonna be,
I think the prime is normally around 5 bar and it should hold.
well,
When I go into expert mode, the only reason I go into there is because sometimes this Snap-on scanner doesn't give you the fuel pressure data PIDs.
it's really odd.
Sometimes. On the newer ones it does. On the older ones, not so much. Key on prime, well, I think it should be around 4 bar, 4 to 5. When you first turn the key on, and it should hold. Because obviously that would prime the system.
Yes.
It needs to up the pressure. So 1.36 bar is too low for starters. And kind of what me and Mike are thinking is that this fuel injector is possibly stuck open. Mike has already swapped the coil. What else have you done?
Well, I also followed a tech note to unplug N276.
Okay. Yes, that's how Mike, we set the faults for the fuel pressure regulator open circuit.
Yeah. And that's it. And then it is positive lead in eyes bromance night. And
That's
this
right.
is what we do.
We're gonna drink beer.
After this, we're going to drink beer
and
probably.
eat chicken tenders and fries. All right. So honestly, what I think we should do is keep this low tech. Do some visual inspections. What I think we can do is to verify this isn't a control issue. Look at some injector patterns. We need to be careful about that. Do it when the car's off. The injectors use, I think it could be around 60 volts maybe. Might even be 100 volts, but 9 amps of current. So you could totally die. So we're gonna do that with the car off. Before we do that, do you have a fuel pressure gauge we could hook up just to verify that we are in fact losing this pressure? All right, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna verify that this rail pressure matches our actual rail pressure and go from there. All right, so what we're doing here is we're going to pull the low side hose off the high pressure pump and we're gonna tee in a fuel gauge, and we just want to verify that we are actually losing our pressure, which we're pretty confident that we are, but just to verify. Safety glasses. If you don't have safety glasses, you just stand back and let Mike do everything.
No, I should be wearing safety glasses. I swear, didn't start drinking yet.
How much pressure came out of there? None?
None.
That's a pretty good indication.
Yeah, it really is. What we are keying into is the low side of the high pressure fuel pump. Correct?
Correct.
Which is driven off the intake cam.
Intake cam,
just like
yeah.
an FSI.
The only way you're hooking up to the high side is if you have a digital fuel pressure gauge. 40 bar. What is that? It's like 500, 600 psi.
It's pretty dangerous.
Yes. All right. So we are teed in. And we're gonna cycle the key right now.
One cycle.
There's one cycle what we have on there. It was about 90 psi and just steadily dropping. That should not drop. That pressure should stay at about 5 bar. What is 5 bar in pressure? 5 times 14.
70.
Okay, so 70.
That's wrong. I made that up.
Really?
But
No,
what
that's
I do,
close.
What I do want to say is that we don't have a leak on our testing side, so this is sealed, which means we have a leak in the fuel system.
We could have a bleed down problem on the low side, but chances are, since we have this rich condition out of the exhaust, we have a cylinder 1 misfire, chances are that this cylinder number 1 injector is leaking down. So that verifies our low rail pressure and that we do in fact have a leak down. Okay, so we verified that we do have a leak down, and what we have done is, or what Mike has done, is pulled number 1 spark plug, and it is soaked in fuel. So what we are going to attempt to do is put a borescope down in the number 1 cylinder spark plug hole and cycle the key and see if we can see fuel spraying out or fuel leaking down inside the cylinder. Say that, but so Mike is inserting the borescope to number 1 spark plug hole. Is there a light on the end of it?
There is. It would help if it was on.
Ah, now I can see.
I can see clearly now that it's covered. It has something on it. Is that the screen's damaged?
Oh, that's better.
I wish they were like mechanical and fancy at the end. You can like,
Oh, so you could be like,
but I can't. I wonder if I can see it this way.
can you cycle it?
Yeah.
Just look at it.
Just would you look at it?
Would you look at that?
Would you look at that?
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Keys in the door. Sorry. Old habit.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah. Oh, it's so bad. Dude, it is dumping fuel.
You can totally see it.
Oh my lord.
It's freaking awesome.
It is full. It's full. You gotta get this on. You gotta get this on film.
Absolutely. We have the borescope in cylinder 1. I just primed the key and let me let that focus. That is the top of the piston that is being flooded with fuel right now. Dude, it's still going.
This is key on, engine off. We should only have about a second of priming. This
But
injector is wide open.
It shouldn't even leak out of the injector.
Well, that says it.
Yeah.
Low tech diagnosis. Well, I mean, it is a fancy borescope, but we didn't have to pull out the oscilloscope
No,
unless we
didn't.
want to check for
Yeah, well, I mean, we
check the
could.
driver circuit.
Dude, that's bad.
It's still.
It's still going. It is off. Keys in my hand. Keys in my hand. There's the key.
I mean, the damage is done.
So Mike is attempting to suck the fuel out of the cylinder.
This is going to be one of the worst cases of cylinder wash I've ever come across.
Yeah, really.
Except for
Timmy's car. Yeah, right. That thing killed me, dude. Damn thing got no compression. Okay. Let's do this one more time if you don't mind. Okay, so that is the top of the piston right there. And I'm going to cycle the key on. Key cycled on. And what you have is our leak down. Ah, I totally should have got that. I wonder if that's in the screen. Totally have our gauge.
Oh, this is so bad. It's hurting me so much to see this fuel in that cylinder.
So as our pressure leaks down on the gauge, you can see our pressure flooding the cylinder number one. Along with an injector, Mike is probably going to prep this customer for a possible catalytic converter damage. That's pretty bad.
That's really bad. Don't forget the oil change now.
Yeah, that's another good point. We should change the oil too, because this fuel is obviously getting past the rings and it's contaminating the oil. And later on down the road, this thing could possibly throw some false rich faults. I've actually seen that before.
It's still flowing. This is so bad. I've seen and diagnosed a lot of cars in 11 years. But that is one of the worst.
That's pretty awesome.
That is one of the worst faulty injectors I've seen. It has to be on a direct injected vehicle too.
What if we unplug this connector? That's going to unplug all the fuel injectors and then prime the key.
See if it powers it. Yeah.
That would make sense.
Yes, and it's simple and it's right there. We're disconnecting the signal to all the fuel injectors.
Right. So if this were a computer problem, that would eliminate it. We're trying to keep this as low tech as possible.
Because we don't want to die in the shop.
So yeah, I think we could do that. And we probably don't need this anymore. We could probably just look at our gauge. I brought my light. Okay.
My light's good enough.
All right, so right here, there's this big 8-pin connector, and on one side it will have red wires with different colored tracers, and on the other side there are brown wires with different colored tracers. These are the control wires for all the injectors, right here, this big connector. If we are thinking that there could be a control issue where the computer is keeping this injector open, what I'm thinking we can do is just unplug this and still see if we have our leak down. So I'm gonna do that. Like I said, I'm gonna do that.
European connectors are some of the hardest connectors to unplug.
Ah, got it.
So you're watching a true professional struggle.
Whoever's seen that, I did it. Doesn't matter if I struggled.
All right, so we're gonna prime.
Yes.
We're gonna prime with no injector signal.
So all the injectors are unplugged.
3, 2. Ignition.
Sorry about that. Keys in my hand, Mike. Okay, the injectors are unplugged. Thinking that there is a computer problem and a control issue, we have the injectors unplugged. And we are going to cycle the key on to see if our leak down is still present, which we both believe that it is. Go ahead, Mike, whenever you're ready.
3, 2, 1.
There's our key on. I can hear the fuel flowing out through the cylinder. And our leak down is still present. That tells us this is not a control issue. That's pretty simple, huh?
Yeah.
Not a control issue. And what we have is a mechanically stuck open fuel injector. That was a pretty easy test.
Yeah. That's actually really nice. It would have took me a little bit of, being that I haven't done this car, it would have taken me a while to get to that point. Because I've been looking for a way to go individual instead of thinking of the group connector. That's actually really good.
That's cool.
That was nice. Good call on that.
Sweet.
Direct
huh?
injected. That's a good way to test them. That's it.
I don't think we need to go any further. honestly.
We don't. We don't.
I don't think we need to cycle this key on anymore. Here is the cylinder number 1 spark plug. Doused in fuel. Shot of that. So in this one, the borescope was pretty key. Fuel pressure gauge. No need to break out the scope. Doesn't always have to be technical.
Needs to do this. Do
No.
that. Kind of like, hey, use the scope. Use the scope. Physically check it out.
No, I think even checking for control, simple unplugging
Yeah.
would be sweet.
If it stopped with an unplugged, then yeah.
Yeah. All right, everyone. I hope you enjoy this video. This is Tom from Positive Lead Diagnostics and PSK Mike diagnosing a mechanically stuck open fuel injector and doing cool stuff with a borescope. So I hope you enjoy this video. Don't forget to subscribe to Mike's channel, PSK Performance. I will put a link to his channel on this video, and hope you enjoy. So thanks for watching.
Are you filming me?
No?